Good afternoon, guys. Today we're going to do a short segment on what gear I carry during the summer months here in Eastern Woodlands. So stay tuned. Okay, so what I'm carrying today is my full ruck pack. It's a Frost River Island Royale pack. It's the full size. And when I normally take this pack out, it's because I'm going to be in an extended stay type period. I would say 3 days or longer out in the woods. So if I'm going to go anything shorter than that, I have a real light scouting type kit. But I want to go through this to show you guys what I carry. There's 1 or 2 items in here that I may or may not have, and some stuff I exchange in and out at times just to try out some different things, or depending on the environment that I would be in. And of course, in the winter time, I have a little bit different change, because here in Eastern Woodlands we have temperatures anywhere from 110 degrees, which is pretty on the extreme side for us, all the way down this past winter. We had sometimes wind chill factors down to -40, which is, again, that's pretty extreme for us, but you can see there's a huge temperature range. So I do adjust my stuff, but even if I had to take this pack in a winter environment, I could still pretty much get through with what I would need to do. And again, this is for a little bit longer term. I don't need this much equipment for a short-term type stay, but let's break into this pack. So like I said, it's a Frost River. It's a bucket style pack, and the reason I like a pack like this is I can fit everything on the inside, and I don't have to worry about digging through compartments with how a lot of modern day packs are. There's a lot of compartments and spaces and extra pouches, and you just feel like you're constantly rooting around for stuff. One big pack, one big compartment, and 2 front compartments on here. So on the inside of the pack, on the top side of the flap, there is a small compartment which we'll go through right after we get through the inside. But let's look at the inside of this pretty quickly. So I just have stuck on top. This is just a linen shirt that I carry with me, and I normally carry these in the summer because towards the evening, if it gets real bad with bugs or anything like this, I can put this on. It gives me some protection. Or if it gets a little bit cooler out, I have it for some warmth. So inside my pack, the first item that I'm going to pull out is one of those items that I interchange sometimes with other things. Now, I would say this is probably not the most weight efficient item, and there's better things out there in my opinion, but I'm just testing this out. So for now I have this in here. It's actually a Sunforger bedroll, and it's made by Tent Smiths, and it's basically like a big sleeping bag slash bivy sack. And I'm going to actually lay it here to lay some of my gear on. This is 100% waterproof, and there's somewhat of a hood on it, so you can actually crawl inside and you will be protected from the elements. The thing I don't like about this is it's heavier than an 8x8 oilskin tarp, and with an oilskin tarp, what I primarily carry, you can do so much more than with this. But this does make a good ground barrier. You can fill this up with ferns or leaves if you want some type of mattress, and like I said, you can crawl inside during a rainstorm and it will keep you dry. So that is one thing that I carry, and like I said, in place of that, I usually carry normally an 8x8 oilskin tarp, and then sometimes I'll also take a hammock depending on what the weather's going to be like in the situation. Okay, so next thing, this is a 100% wool blanket. It's queen size. It's 90 by 90. You can see it rolls up pretty small. In the winter months, of course, I carry a heavier blanket, but that works out pretty good for now. Okay, so to keep moving on, rain gear. This is a oilskin watch coat from Tent Smiths. It rolls up, nice tight package. I keep some rope with it because it is the open front style, and I will do a review on this. The rope helps as a belt, and I can put on my knife, my fire kit, anything on the outside that I would want to. Next thing is a dry bag, and dry bags, of course, you can use for numerous type things in a wilderness setting, anything from collecting tinder, keeping stuff dry, of course. You can also collect water with this, and if you need to, you can also stone boil within these bags, as long as they're good, heavy-duty bags. I carry 3 pieces of cotton. Each one is at least 3 foot by 3 foot squares, and the reason I carry 3 is, first of all, for any type of water filtration system that you would do a tier system with a tripod. And I also have, you might be wondering why I have 1 orange. I don't have a lot of stuff in my kit that is brightly colored. So situation that I might be lost or I need some type of rescue, I have something that I can make a flag out of and get up in the trees or wave or signaling device type of thing. And like I said, this cotton, anything from wound dressings to personal hygiene, you can do it with this. Next thing is 20 feet of nylon webbing. I find this very useful, anything from tying a Swiss seat if you would need to repel, if you got yourself in a situation like that, or if you needed to make a stretcher or a Roycroft pack frame, this stuff comes in real handy. And we're getting towards the bottom here. So this kit I'm going to go through at the end of this video. This is basically a maintenance kit. A lot of people call it a possibles bag, and I can do a lot out of this. Anything from fishing to trapping to maintenance of all my gear, repair of all my gear. So there's a lot. It only weighs about a pound. It's in a linen bag. I can do a ton with this kit, and we'll go through this quickly at the end. And at the bottom of my bag, which I always keep in here, are more emergency items is what I look at them as. I have a reusable space blanket. One side's OD green, the other side is reflective mylar, and on the inside I have some tent pegs rolled up in there. So I can do a quick lean-to type configuration shelter if the weather would get real bad, or if I needed a ground cloth, I can use this. I can also wrap that around my body if I did need something as far as to protect myself from the elements of rain or anything like that. And to go with that emergency type shelter kit, I have two 55-gallon drum liners, and again, these can be used for just about anything from filling them with leaves to sleep on top of, crawling inside because of the size of them, to keep yourself dry. You can make rain gear out of this stuff. You can open them up and make a shelter out of them, so there's a lot of uses for these bags. And these two items, I just throw them on my bag and forget about it. That way if I take out this kit and I forget to put something in, or I pulled something out at home and I don't have it, this is more than enough to keep me pretty well set. Even in the winter, with a good fire, these items right here, you can sustain yourself easily for 2, 3, 4 nights. As long as you have a good fire in front of you with reflective heat, if you know what to do with these items. Alright, so finishing off the inside, there's nothing else that I have on the inside of this. Now I do have a trash can inside my bag, and the reason I have that is this Frost River bag does not have an internal or external frame. And initially I put it in there because it was bothering me when I was out in the bush and I was doing a lot of tasks. The bag kept closing on itself, folding on itself, and it just seemed a hassle to dig inside. So I placed this inside, and that helped with a lot of rigidity of the bag, but also it doubles as another container. So I can put firewood in it, I can put debris in it, I can put water in it, I can do anything I need to do around camp. A lot of times we'll take it out, boil water, dump it in here, boil water, dump it in, and then we have a fresh supply of water at our camp all the time in here. So that's what's on the inside. Now let's just touch base quickly on the top. So the top flap of this bag, if you go to the inside of it, I have a couple items that are flat and they're just sort of out of the way. This is just a case with my journal in and a few pencils. So I always suggest somebody you have pen, paper, and a journal with some paper here, so you can write down. And a lot of this stuff that I worked on over the years, as I write this down, I can go back if I don't remember something, and it's in this journal. So it's a good idea to keep your journal with you, and sometimes if you're around camp at night, write some things down. It's good to go back and look at that later on. These are maps, topographical maps of the area that I mostly operate in. They're waterproof. I had years ago these same maps, and they were paper, but what would happen is you go out in bad conditions, you go out in storms, and if you need to use them, they actually get destroyed. So if you go online and Google waterproof topographical maps, this will come up. They come in sectors, so these are the 3 sectors that I'm in most of the time when I'm in the woods around my area. So I have those, and they're always with me. And to go with a map, of course, you need to always remember to have your compass. So I do have my compass in here. This is the Sunto MC2 World Compass. I have my pacing beads, and again a whistle for rescue or signaling, anything like that. So that's what's inside the main pocket of my pouch. Now I do have a piece of mullein I collected. I'm going to do another video on hand drills, so keep your eye out for that. That's what's sticking out the side of this pack. Now in the front, as you can see, there's two big pockets and a loop here for your axe. This is the Gransford Brux small forest axe, and sometimes in the summer I don't have this. In the winter I always have this. This is usually my go-to tool in the winter, because when stuff freezes up here, a saw is not always your best option. This is. So it fits nice in the front. It doesn't take up too much room or anything being there. So I had that with me today, and you're going to see my alternate option that I prefer in the summer in just a second. So my two front pouches, I have items that I would quickly need to get into when I'm on a trail, either because of an emergency type situation or because I am doing some type of project and I don't want to have to dig in a big part of my pack while I'm on the trail. So in this front compartment, I have a water bottle with a nesting cup that I carry. And then I also, because again this is an extended stay type kit here, I have a small bag, and in this bag I have my spoon, my fork, and then my bail to fit my water bottles or my nesting cups to hang over the fire or remove from the fire. So I keep that stuff with me in this kit. It's lightweight, and it's a lot easier to have that stuff at a more of a base camp type setting than trying to make it while you're out there. So in my other small front pocket, I have a few more items. One roll of number 36 bank line. This is the Leatherman Wave multi-tool. Baco Laplander saw, and again I said this is my cutting tool of choice in the summer. Stuff just, I mean, this just kills the trees. So this is what I'm picking in the summer, but like I said, in the winter when stuff freezes, it becomes a little bit more of a task to use this. It's a little bit quicker to use an axe. So this is always here though, year round. I have a spare ferrocerium rod. Now I always have one on my knife, but I like to carry an extra one inside my pack. That way I always feel like my pack is inclusive as far as I can do everything I need to do out of here, and I don't need any external resources other than what's in the pack and my knife on my hip. Headlamp with extra batteries. And then lastly, I have a small roll of Gorilla Brand duct tape and mini Infernos for this is my Surefire. And I have these up front because with this in the ferrocerium rod, real quick fire, if it's an emergency type situation, I bust out one or two of these, light it, get that fire going. I get my shelter from inside my kit set up pretty quickly. So I always want to have these on hand to get that fire started right away. So that's everything that I carry within my kit. Again, this is the Frost River Island Royale pack. To go along with this bag, I always carry my haversack, which is here. And then inside my haversack, that's where I might vary some items at times, maybe an extra water bottle, maybe some projects that I'm going to be working on, maybe a roll of oilskin that I have some tinder in. So it really depends what I have in this bag, but I always carry this. It's great for at camp, or if I put my big pack down just to have on me, I can throw some stuff in that I might need to do a short scout around the area. Or even if we're working through an area and we're using the compass and we get to a certain point, I can put my big pack down and I can go out and scout a little bit and come back to the main point if I'm with other people. That way I'm not trying to drudge through heavy wooded areas or laurels or thicket with my big heavy pack on. I can just go real light with this and get done what I need. So that's what's inside my pack. Hope you liked the video. Stay tuned for more videos like this. And like I said, we're going to do some other videos on an 18th century kit that I sometimes carry out into the woods. We'll do a winter loadout kit. So stay tuned. We'll keep you updated and stay in the woods.